Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Always fun.
This one's a little different.
Yeah.
We're talking about silence,
Ooh.
based on a YouTube video
Okay.
from Joe Dispenza
Okay.
called "Be Silent and Act as If You Have Nothing to Lose."
Oh, I like it.
So I've been looking forward to this one, but I got to be honest.
Yeah.
It's also been a little bit of a challenge getting ready for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a talker.
Right.
So silence, maybe not my...
Not your natural habitat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dispenza talks about all kinds of really cool things, like how silence can actually attract opportunities, which honestly sounds a little too good to be true.
Right.
But
the interesting thing is he's not just making this stuff up.
Right.
He's pulling from ancient wisdom, like meditation and mindfulness, and combining that with modern science. You know, looking at how silence can impact our brain activity and maybe even like the energy around us. Yeah.
So let's start with kind of the obvious.
Okay.
Which is our world is pretty loud.
It is very loud.
So between work and social media and just the general hustle of everyday life, I mean, how much silence do you think people actually experience?
It's almost like a luxury now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely something we take for granted.
Right.
But all that noise, it does have consequences.
Okay.
And we know from science that stress and information overload, it actually makes it harder for our brains to think clearly and creatively.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of like trying to compose a symphony in the middle of a rock concert.
Ooh.
You need some quiet to hear those individual notes.
That's a really good analogy.
Thank you.
So turning down the volume isn't just about, relaxing or finding peace. It's actually about really enabling our brains to function at their best.
Absolutely. And what Dispenza suggests is that practices like meditation and mindfulness, they don't just feel good, they actually change our brains.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. They create new neural pathways that support positive thinking and resilience.
So it's like we're actually rewiring our brains for calmness and clarity.
Exactly. It's like spring cleaning for your brain.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
In full disclosure.
Yeah.
This is the part where I needed a little extra help understanding it.
Okay.
Dispenza brings in quantum physics.
Okay.
Okay, he's talking about how our thoughts and emotions might actually send out vibrations that can interact with the world around us.
Interesting.
So it's almost like we're these walking antennas broadcasting our inner state.
Broadcasting our inner state. I like that.
Out to the universe.
To the universe.
Yeah.
So the idea is that like tuning a radio, our thoughts and feelings, that they're on a certain frequency. When we get stuck in those negative thought patterns, we're just broadcasting and attracting more of the same. But if we cultivate silence, we can shift to a new frequency, one that's more open to positive experiences and opportunities.
So less about magically wishing things into existence and more about becoming a clear channel for that positive energy.
For positive energy, exactly. And, Dispenza talks about, like, thinking of a friend, and then suddenly they call. We've all had those weird synchronicities, haven't we?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So it's not about, like, controlling the universe, but it's kind of creating the conditions where those serendipitous events are more likely to happen.
Yeah, and so much of the time we're trying to force outcomes or change things externally. And what Dispenza is suggesting is that real change starts internally.
It does.
With quieting the mind.
Absolutely.
And allowing the universe to work its magic.
Right, and that's a key principle. It's not about forcing change. It's about becoming more receptive to change.
Okay, so how do we actually start incorporating more silence into our lives?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah,
because let's be honest, even 5 minutes of uninterrupted silence can feel like a luxury.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But Dispenza, he encourages us to start small.
Okay.
Even just 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference.
Okay.
It could be 5 minutes of meditation when you wake up. Maybe a mindful walk during your lunch break, or even just putting your phone away for a few minutes before bed.
Yeah, I've actually been trying to incorporate mini meditations into my day.
Yeah.
Just even a few minutes of focused breathing can really shift my energy.
Yeah, and what's cool is those little moments of silence, they can have like a ripple effect on the people around you.
You really think so?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Have you ever noticed how when someone's really calm, it can kind of rub off on you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So Dispenza talks about how our inner peace can positively impact those around us.
Wow.
And it makes sense if you think about it. Like, emotional intelligence and empathy, when we're calmer and more present, we just show up differently.
Yeah, it's like our own inner silence is creating a little field of peace.
It is. It's like a force field of peace.
That extends outward.
I love that.
So cultivating silence isn't just about personal gain.
It's just not selfish.
It's about contributing to a more peaceful and harmonious world.
It is. Now, we've talked about silence as a practice.
Yeah.
But Dispenza takes it even further.
Okay.
He says silence can be a way of being, not just something you do for a few minutes a day.
So what does it actually mean to live from a place of inner stillness?
That's a great question, and one we're going to unpack more.
Okay.
It's about cultivating that inner stillness so deeply that it becomes a part of who you are. Yeah, informing your thoughts, actions, reactions. It's about bringing that awareness and presence into everything you do, from your morning commute to your interactions with your family.
That's a beautiful idea.
It is.
I got to say, it also sounds pretty challenging.
It is. It's a journey.
Especially in our fast-paced, always-on world.
Absolutely.
But it sounds like the benefits of living from a place of silence could be really profound.
They are profound.
Yeah.
It can transform your relationship with time.
Okay.
Your ability to handle challenges. And even your sense of purpose and fulfillment.
Wow. Yeah. So embracing silence isn't just about finding a few minutes of peace each day.
No.
It's about tapping into this like deep well of inner wisdom and power that can transform our lives from the inside out.
From the inside out. And as we continue this deep dive, we're going to unpack all those benefits in more detail. We'll explore how silence can impact our creativity, our intuition, our connection to nature, and even our physical well-being.
That's awesome. I'm excited to dive in.
Me too. One of the things that really stuck with me from the video was this idea that silence can actually make us more sensitive to energy.
Right.
And not just our own energy, but like the energy of other people and even the energy of places.
Interesting.
It's like developing a sixth sense almost.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah. And it can be incredibly empowering. Like, for example, we might start to notice that certain people or environments drain our energy, and we can make conscious choices to limit our exposure to those things.
So it's like we develop this internal radar.
Yeah, like an internal guidance system.
Yeah, that helps us navigate life with more awareness.
With more awareness and intention.
It's not just about being silent. It's about becoming more attuned to these subtle energies that are all around us.
Exactly. And Dispenza suggests that this attunement can also enhance our intuition. It's like tapping into a deeper intelligence.
Wow.
That kind of already knows the right path for us.
So instead of second-guessing ourselves.
Right. Or relying on external validation, we start to trust our own inner knowing.
And this intuition isn't just limited to personal matters either.
No, not at all.
Dispenza talks about how deepening our practice of silence can actually lead to insights into global events.
Wow.
Or even the evolution of humanity itself.
Yeah, it's like we're tapping into this collective consciousness.
It's pretty wild.
It is pretty wild. And he observes that a lot of people who really go deep into this discover a calling to contribute to something bigger than themselves.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, to make a positive impact on the world.
So silence is awakening a deeper sense of purpose.
It is. It's like a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And he doesn't shy away from like the mystical aspects of this journey. Either he talks about how going deeper into this practice can lead to altered states of consciousness. From deep meditative states to like profound mystical experiences.
Wow.
Now, I know for some people that might sound a little out there.
Right.
But it's important to remember that these experiences are rooted in ancient wisdom traditions
Okay.
that have been practiced for centuries.
So it's not about getting lost in some kind of woo-woo spiritual realm.
Right.
It's about accessing deeper levels of awareness.
Exactly.
But how do these experiences actually translate into everyday life?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
The real value is in integrating the insights and wisdom gained from these experiences into our daily actions and interactions.
So it's not just about having the peak experience. Right. It's about embodying the transformation that comes from that experience.
Exactly. And as we do that, our relationship with time might even start to shift. Right. Dispenza talks about moving from a state of linear time, where we're always rushing from one thing to the next, to a state of timelessness, where we're fully present in each moment.
Wow.
But also aware of this larger flow of life.
What does that actually feel like to experience timelessness?
Imagine moving through your day with this sense of grace and ease, accomplishing what needs to be done without feeling stressed or overwhelmed.
It's like being in flow.
It is. It's like everything's effortlessly falling into place.
That sounds amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
Almost like living in a constant state of zen.
It's not about eliminating challenges or difficulties, though. It's about approaching them with a sense of equanimity, knowing that each experience, even the challenging ones, contributes to our journey of awakening.
So instead of fearing or resisting those challenges, we learn to embrace them as opportunities for growth and transformation.
Exactly. And as we access this inner silence more deeply, we may find that we need less from the external world to feel fulfilled.
Interesting.
That peace and contentment we find within becomes more satisfying than any material possession or external achievement.
So we realize that true fulfillment comes from within.
It does.
Not from chasing external validation or material wealth.
And this realization can lead to a desire to simplify our lives.
Okay.
Decluttering our physical space, streamlining our commitments, maybe even letting go of relationships that no longer serve our highest good.
It's like we're clearing away the clutter.
Yeah, both internal and external.
To make room for a more authentic and meaningful life.
Beautifully said. And as we continue to let go of what no longer serves us, our sense of identity can actually expand.
Okay.
We feel less attached to labels and roles. We start to see them as tools, rather than defining factors of who we are.
So it's about reclaiming our true selves.
It is, free from the limitations of societal expectations or limiting beliefs.
And that brings a profound sense of freedom.
It does. We're no longer constrained by the need to fit in or seek approval from others.
We can show up as our most authentic self.
Exactly. And as we embody this authenticity, we may feel this natural urge to share what we've learned.
Okay.
Maybe through teaching or mentoring, or simply by being a living example of the peace and presence we've cultivated.
Yeah, so our own transformation can inspire and uplift those around us.
It's like a ripple effect of positive change.
I love that. And Dispenza also talks about the importance of connecting with the silence in the natural world.
Absolutely. Spending time in nature, absorbing the quiet wisdom of trees and mountains and the ocean.
There's definitely a stillness and vastness in nature.
There is.
That can help us connect to that same stillness within ourselves.
For sure. I've always found that being in nature has this calming effect.
Oh, totally. It's like the noise of the world just fades away.
It does. And as we deepen our connection to nature, we might also notice an increase in synchronicities.
Okay, you mean like those meaningful coincidences?
Yeah, those moments where it feels like the universe is conspiring to bring something into your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Those can be seen as signs that we're in harmony with the flow of life.
Interesting.
Aligned with a greater intelligence.
And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of his work.
Yeah.
The connection between silence and creativity.
Yes, he suggests that when we create space in our minds, new ideas and inspirations can flow through us more easily.
So silence becomes like the fertile ground.
It does.
From which creativity can blossom.
Beautifully said. And this creativity can show up in so many ways.
Okay.
In our art, in innovative solutions at work, even fresh approaches to daily tasks.
So we begin to appreciate the artistry in every aspect of life.
We do. Okay, so we've talked about how silence can enhance our intuition, connect us to nature, and boost our creativity. But what about its impact on our physical health?
That's a good question.
Dispenza suggests that the deep relaxation we cultivate through silence allows our bodies to heal and regenerate at a cellular level.
Wow.
And he even presents evidence that this can actually contribute to resolving chronic health issues.
Really?
Yeah, and an increase in our overall energy and vitality.
So silence isn't just good for our minds and spirits.
No.
It's good for our bodies, too.
It's good for the whole package.
And maybe one of the most transformative aspects of embracing silence is its impact on how we handle challenges and adversity.
Oh, no, so.
Yeah. It really is amazing to think about how something so simple, like silence, can have such a profound impact on our lives.
It really is.
Everything from our well-being to how we handle those tough situations.
It speaks to the power that's already within us.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Dispenza's message. It's so empowering.
Yeah.
He's reminding us that silence isn't just a practice or some state of mind. It's like a source of strength and wisdom that's always available to us.
Okay, so we've talked about all these big concepts.
We have.
But for our listeners out there who want to give this a try, what are some practical ways to incorporate silence into everyday life?
Well, Dispenza, he really emphasizes that even small, consistent efforts can make a huge difference.
Okay.
He suggests starting with just 5 minutes of dedicated silence each day, maybe when you wake up or right before bed.
And what should people actually be doing during those 5 minutes?
It can be as simple as focusing on your breath, noticing the rise and fall of your chest, or just feeling the air as it enters and leaves your nostrils. It's a really easy way to bring your attention to the present moment.
Okay, what if thoughts come up?
They will.
Because I know my mind can race.
Especially when we try to quiet down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's totally normal.
Okay.
Don't judge yourself or try to push those thoughts away. Just acknowledge them.
Okay.
And gently redirect your attention back to your breath.
Okay.
It's like training a puppy, you know? It takes patience and a little guidance.
I like that.
So think about those little pockets of time in your day that usually get filled with noise and distractions.
Like what?
Well, maybe it's turning off the radio during your commute, putting your phone away at meal times, or just taking a few minutes to sit in silence before work.
Yeah, so it's about making that conscious choice to create those spaces.
Exactly.
What about when we're feeling overwhelmed or stressed?
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything we can do in those moments?
For sure.
To tap into that power of silence?
Absolutely. Dispenza recommends just pausing, taking a few conscious breaths. Even a few moments of stillness can help you regain your center and respond to whatever's happening with more clarity.
It's like hitting the pause button on all the chaos and reconnecting with that stillness inside.
Yes, and as we integrate these practices, we might find ourselves drawn to other things.
Like what?
Well, like meditation or yoga or spending time in nature. It's like we're awakening this part of ourselves that's always been there, but maybe we've forgotten about it.
I have really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too.
I feel like I had a whole new perspective on the power of silence.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
Before we go, I'd love to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
What aspect of your life do you think would benefit most from a little more silence? Maybe it's your relationships, your work, your creativity.
It could be your health.
Or just your overall sense of well-being.
We encourage you to reflect on that question and consider how you might experiment with bringing more silence into your own life.
You might be surprised
by
the changes that happen.
The subtle but profound changes.
When you make space for stillness.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, we hope you're inspired to embrace the silence.
And discover all the amazing things that can happen.
Until next time, may you find peace and clarity in the silence.